If you're in the market for a new pickup truck, there probably are a few considerations that you're looking to make. If you're in the 1500 half-ton classification, you've got considerations such as towing and hauling and various sizes box and bed and things like that. Fuel economy may be one of those considerations, but I admit for many it may not be at the top of the list. That's not to say it's not important though. And so where the Ford F-150 is concerned, there are several engine options. Which is the most fuel efficient overall? Well, it's this diesel. It's the 3-liter V6 Powerstroke diesel that Ford has recently brought into its edition of F-150 offerings. And on this report, I don't have much to say about the F-150 itself because this has been out, this iteration of the F-150 has been out for a while, and it's already been talked about by myself and many others. But I want to talk about the diesel difference, how diesel compared to gas may be better or worse, what are the pros and cons, and we'll just take a look a little bit deeper at the F-150 3-liter diesel on my latest review. All right, so let's talk about the pros and the cons of diesel versus gasoline. And from my perspective, off the top, as I said, the greatest advantage of diesel is that it's more efficient. It has greater fuel efficiency, and that's because of the compression technology used versus combustion that you would see in a gasoline engine. Diesel engines don't have spark plugs. It uses compression to create the conversion of chemical energy found in gas into mechanical energy, which moves it forward. It creates higher heat. It's more efficient overall. That creates about a 25% on average increase in fuel efficiency compared to regular gas. The engines, as a result, because there's more heat involved, is also more durable. So you have a stronger, better built, more durable engine. That's, you would say, in theory. You also get greater torque in diesel gasoline. That's, again, related to the fact that you get more energy, more heat, more energy created from that. You get more of that low-end pull, which is really what torque is. And that's why diesel is a very popular choice in trucks. It doesn't generate the same amount of horsepower because it doesn't get to the same revolutions, the RPMs, to get to that sweet spot. In fact, a lot of, especially here in the 10-speed F-150 diesel, it's typically the gear shift around 1750 to 2250 RPMs. So you're staying in that low end RPM to get the most torque, which is the advantage of diesel overall. And again, I mean, it adds to the towing capacity. This there's far greater towing capacity and payload capacity, sort of on a size per size basis with diesel compared to gasoline. So there's big advantages in those regards, but of course there are disadvantages. It's more expensive. In cases, especially here with the F-150, it's as much as a $4,000 difference to get the diesel engine compared to one of the gasoline. So you're going to have to pay more, and then that means there's a buyback period to really get your money back if it's all about, equating the same investment value. And diesel engines tend to be more expensive to fix as well. We have to talk about the higher cost, and there's obviously less accessibility. There's not diesel stations everywhere. Not all gas stations have diesel available as well. I mean, it's not a huge discrepancy, but still, it's not every gas station that offers both regular and diesel. And we also have to talk about the idea of emissions. Because of the burn process, not all of the particulates that would be created or the harmful emissions are burned off. So there is a bit of a dirtier exhaust in its origins. Now, in North America, of course, we have this thing called clean diesel, and the diesel fuel that's used now, it's a ultra low sulfur diesel, and that's what the sulfur was one of the main particulates that got into the air, creating that dirty black element of old diesel engines. It is cleaning up, but of course you have things like Dieselgate, where Volkswagen, in its initial emissions testing, was fudging the numbers through the computerizing of it, which created a poor perception of diesel overall. And I think in North America, there's a big discrepancy in how popular diesel is. I mean, in Europe, everyone's got them. It says, 30-40% of vehicle sales can be diesel. Well, here it's really under 5%. So it's a trade-off. But if fuel economy is really one of the things you're looking at most, then clearly a diesel is better overall than it would be with gasoline in a truck such as this. Okay, so what about driving and performance here in the diesel? How does that compare to the gasoline engines? Well, this 3-liter F-150 diesel has the payload capacity. It can hold up to 7,100 pounds and can tow up to 17,000 pounds. So that's that low-end torque offering an advantage compared to regular gasoline. This vehicle here has 250 horsepower, but 440 pound-feet of torque. So that's where all that extra low-end towing capacity comes from. It's in the low torque that comes with diesel technology. And that compares, I mean, the 2.7 liter has more horsepower, but less torque. The same with the 3.5 and the 5 liter. So you're getting less horsepower, again, because you don't have to rev at high RPMs. This is designed that way, but more torque overall. And as for fuel efficiency, I did mention it's far more fuel efficient, sorry, I should say, compared to the other F-150s. The total combined fuel economy as posted for this F-150 is 9.9 liters per 100 kilometers. That works out to 23.8 US miles per gallon. So far, I've been driving this for 5 or 6 days, and I'm ahead of that mark. I'm at about 9.2 right now, so close to 10% better. It's not the greatest diesel fuel economy. I know the Ram Eco diesel that I've tested in the past. I haven't tested the new one yet, but in the previous ones it was doing a little bit better than this. But still, it is better by comparison, because when you look at the other engine options here, the 2.7 EcoBoost has a 11.4 liters per 100 kilometers combined, or 20.6 US miles per gallon. The 3.5 liter V6 EcoBoost, probably one of the most popular engines that it sells. That one comes in at 12.5 liters per 100 kilometers combined. That's at 18.8 US MPG. And the 5 liter is at 14 liters per 100 kilometers, or 16.8 US miles per gallon. So you see you're getting that improvement in fuel economy. There is a knock on diesel. It's noisy and loud. I gotta admit, this F-150 diesel has quite been well refined. That knocking noise, you don't hear it very much. Now, this is summer, so I can't tell you what it's like in the winter, the cold knocking sound, but it's quite refined. In fact, if you have the windows up and the music playing, you would not know that you're driving a diesel engine. You'd know it a little bit on the accelerator pedal. I gotta admit, one thing I always feel with diesels, it does seem you got to be a little heavy on the gas pedal to get that feeling going forward. I've always found I have to push just a little bit harder whenever I'm driving in diesel on the accelerator than I would in gas. That's about the only thing I really noticed that's different. You wouldn't hear it, and I mean, it's pretty smooth to drive. The 10-speed has the shifts going at all times. You really don't notice it that well. It's kept at low RPMs, and I mean, it's not a bad thing to drive overall, but those are the sort of performance aspects of this diesel F-150. So it does seem that if you are looking for fuel economy and great towing capacity, this F-150 diesel, the 3-liter Powerstroke, is a viable option. It is the most fuel efficient F-150 for now. It is not going to always be that case, because as we have seen, there is an electrification coming in the next generation of F-150s. We'll see a plug-in hybrid and of course a full electric, which got a lot of people excited when a concept version of it was able to recently tow 1.25 million pounds on a rail cart with F-150s as well in the cargo hold. But that's coming later. We won't see that as stock, of course, but in the interim, this diesel is the most fuel efficient and capable of towing, and it's a good option for the right individual. That's it for now. I'm Eric Novak. Thanks for watching. There's plenty of ways for you to keep connected with me, so check out some of my social media links, suggested videos, and I'd really love it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel.